Hi everyone and welcome to another tutorial of Ustazk website, and in this tutorial I shall let you know guys how you can create a webinar as a tutor, and later on how you can join that specific webinar as a student. So I have just opened two of the profiles in my system. One you can see that is of name Mashood Hassan, that is of student, and if I switch my tab, here is a profile. One second. Yes, here is a profile that you can see of the tutor, that is Shami. So to create the webinar and to start yourself, you have to first go to the tutor profile and create a webinar. So here you can see in the top navigation bar there is a button called webinar. So I will click on this webinar button. Here you can see I have already added few webinars, but for the educational purposes I will add one more. I will click add webinar. I will just put the title as test webinar. I will put the description as any description. This is test webinar. Okay. Start date I will put as 26, because as of now I have to show you how you can create and join the webinar, so that is why I am choosing 2 days date. You can choose whatever suits you. Start time I am keeping it as it is, that is of current time. You can select any category of which you wanted to create a webinar. Like suppose if I am wanting to create a webinar on languages, I will select the languages. Then you have to select the subcategory, like of which language you wanted to have a webinar. So I will select Italian. So here you can, in the price field, you can set the price of your own choice. Like you can set is like $5, $10, $15, or whatever. And for the, as this is the educational purposes tutorial, so I am setting the price as 0 for now, but you can set it to as your wish. I have set it to 0. Okay. And after that everything is completed, I just have to click on this send button. So here you can see a pop-up message, webinar added successfully. Okay, so this is a webinar that we have recently created. So here you can see test webinar. This was the description that I have given. This is test webinar. Okay, so here I can just edit this webinar if I wanted to change anything, or I can just invite the student. Here you can just give their respective email, and afterwards you, when you click on the send button, the invitation mail will be sent to their email accounts. But for now I will just switch to the student profile and show you how you can join the webinar. So I have just switched to the student profile, and to join the webinar I have to follow the same process. I will go to the top nav, and here you can see I have a button of webinar. I will click on this webinar button. Okay, and here you can see all of the webinar that are currently available, and all of the webinar that I can join for now. Okay, but I will join the same webinar that I have created recently. That is this is test webinar. So I will click on this attend webinar button. Okay, so here it's saying that session will start at this time, so we will check our time. It is saying that session will start at 3:56, and the time has already passed, so it means that the session has already begun. So what we will do, we will go to our tutor profile, and we will just start the webinar. Remember, to start the webinar session, the tutor has to first enter the webinar. Student cannot join the webinar until and unless tutor has already in the same webinar. So to start the formally start the webinar, I will open the webinar from the tutor profile. So here you can see there is a one button open. I will click on this. It will navigate me to a separate window. Okay. So here you can see I have just joined the webinar and it's asking me to choose an option whether I wanted to speak or to just listen. So as I am tutor, I will just choose microphone. Okay. Okay. So I will just, I can hear it and I will select it as yes. So this is my room and here you can see I am the currently the only one in this meeting. So on the left side you can see Shami, that is of my own profile. So as for now only myself, I mean the tutor is only in the meeting. So what we have to do, we have to again go to the student profile and now we can easily join this webinar. So I will again click on this free webinar button. Okay, I will just select the yes for now. Okay, so I will just click OK. And now you can see when I have just confirmed the recipient, now I can see a button of join webinar. So I will click on this and it will also redirect me to the separate window. Now here you can see I have joined the same meeting and as I am studying as a student I can select just the listen only. You can choose whatever option suits you. Establishing audio. Okay, I have joined the session and you can see for now there are two users. One that is of tutor and one myself like student. So this is the process of creating a webinar and joining the webinar. So this is quite easy and hopefully I have covered all the steps. Thank you.